Hey, what's up, y'all? Idris Salaam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. Big Bosco Productions. Check me out on VMix Radio. That's VMX Radio on live365.com. I'm playing all your throwbacks. Let's talk more music 24 hours a day. Also, check out the Casual Convo. Coco and myself, we bring it to you. We talk about the topics, relationships, business. We have that casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. That's Casual Convo, both spelled with K's. Also, check out the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Richie, Shed, Zappy, myself, and also don't forget my man Brett Bandage. We talk sports, all sports. The Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Check us out, y'all. We're gonna have a bedtime story tonight. I'm gonna tell it again. My name is Idris Salaam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. Little Red Riding Hood. It's gonna be an adult bedtime story. Won't be anything sex involved or nothing like that. But you will hear some vulgarity. All right, I'm just letting you know right now. If you have some badass kids, and you don't mind them listening to some cursing, bring them in, let them hear the story. They might like it. You know what I mean? It's written by the Brothers Grimm, originally called Little Red Cap. I don't know why they changed the name, but you know how the colonizers thought they got to change shit to what they want. But Little Red Riding Hood. And I'm telling the story, so get ready. We're going to count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once upon a time, there was a dear little girl who was loved by everyone who looked at her. Yo, that shit sound creepy already. But most of all by her grandmother. And there was nothing in the world she would not have given to that child. She spoiled the shit out of her. Once she gave her a little red velvet cap. She liked it so much, and I'm talking about red, that she would never wear anything else. So that's why she got the name Little Red Riding Hood. Still don't understand why she got a hood on in the original story. It's called the Little Red Cap. But anyway, she didn't watch that shit probably. If that's all she wanted to be hot and shit, but you're going to find out how hot it was in the next paragraph. Check this shit out. One day, her mother said to her, Red, come here. Here's a blunt, and here's a 40. Put it in your apron. Take him to your grandmother. She's ill and she's weak. This might help her out. And hurry your ass out there before it gets hot. And be walking nicely and quietly. Don't be talking to nobody and don't be running through shit, all right? You might fall and break that 40. Your grandmother gonna get pissed and so am I. And if you break that bottle, when you bring your ass home, I'ma beat your ass. Grandma continued. And when you get to her room, don't forget to say good morning. And don't be peeping around every corner to do it. Red replied, I will take great care, Ma. And she gave Mom, her hand on it. Basically, she said, all right, my word, all right? So, the grandmother, she lived way out in the hood. Now, to get to her crib, it's like past a village, past some woods, and then you got the hood. But the thing is, just as Little Red Riding Hood got to the woods, the wolf was there. This nigga was right there chilling. It's like he knew she was coming. But Little Red Riding Hood, she knew how wicked that nigga looked. She like, shit, I ain't afraid of him. Good day, Little Red Riding Hood, said the wolf. Thank you kindly, wolf, she replied. Whither away so early, Little Red Riding Hood? I'm going to my grandmother's. What is that in your apron, Red Riding Hood? A blunt and a 40. Yesterday, my mom's was like cooking and shit, and they was smoking. So she rolled up a few blunts and shit. She figured she'd give my grandmother one and give her a 40. She'll feel a little bit better, make her stronger. Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood? About a quarter league past the woods. You go past the village. Her house is right there under the large oak trees, right? The nut trees are just below. I'm pretty sure you know about it, Red replied. But the wolf, his shicey ass, he's thinking to himself, what a tender young creature. What a nice plump mouthful. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that shit sound creepy as hell. That sounds like some pedophile shit. What this nigga doing looking at a little girl talking about a tender young creature and a plump mouthful? Y'all bugging this shit, for real. Anyway, back to the wolf. What a tender young creature. What a nice plump mouthful. She'll be better to eat than the old woman. However, I must act crafty so as to catch both them bitches. So, he walked with Red for a little bit, trying to put the game, trying to bamboozle her, get her to do other shit, Then he was like, see, Little Red Riding Hood, how pretty the flowers are about here. Why don't you not look around? I believe, too, that you do not hear how sweetly the little birds are singing. You walk along as if you are going to school. Why are you in a rush while everything else out here in the woods is merry? Lil Red Rising raised her eyebrow like the Rock and shit. And when she saw the sunbeams dancing here and there through the trees and shit, and the pretty flowers growing everywhere, she thought, suppose I take my grandmother a fresh nosegay. Now, I don't know what a nosegay is, but that sounds like some cocaine shit. Nosegay? That's some cancel shit right there. That would please her too. It's so early in the day that I shall get there in good time. So Red ran from down the path through the woods looking for flowers like her mother told her not to do because she might break that damn bottle. And whenever she picked one flower, she fancied that she saw one prettier further on. So she ran after that and kept on running the flower and flower. So she was so far in the woods, she forgot what the hell she had to do. Meanwhile, the wolf's shicey ass ran to the grandmother's house. Knocked on the door like, who is there? The grandma said. Little Red Riding Hood, replied the wolf. I am bringing you your blunt and your 40. Open the door. Lift the latch, called out the grandmother. I'm too weak. I cannot get up. So the wolf lifted the latch. The door sprang open. And without saying shit, that nigga ran straight to the grandmother's bed, ate her ass up. Boom. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself up and shit, put on the bonnet. The bonnet the sisters be wearing out there and shit. They be coming outside looking like they just got out of bed after a man just hit last night. They didn't even take a shower. They just put on the freaking pajamas and shit in the bonnet. Say, yo, I'm going to Dollar Tree. You know that shit. So he did that. He laid himself in the bed and drew back the curtains. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood was running around and shit the woods, picking flowers, knowing she's supposed to have her ass at the grandmother's house. And she had got so many flowers she didn't carry no more. And then she like, oh shit, I gotta get to grandmother's house. So she took off running, boom, like the Flash and shit. She was surprised when she got to the crib and saw grandma's door standing open. Now remember, she up in the hood, so shit ain't right. And when she went to the room, she had this real strange feeling and said to herself, oh dear, how uneasy I feel today. And other times, I love being by my grandmother. So she called out, good morning. But she didn't get no answer. So she went to the bed and drew back the curtains. There lay her grandmother in her bonnet and shit, covered over her face. And she was looking real strange and shit. It's like, oh grandmother, she said, what big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my child, replied the wolf. But grandma, you high? What big eyes you have, she said. The better to see your ass with, my dear. Grandma, hold up. You got some big ass hands, man. The better to hug you with. Why are you asking me all of these questions? Okay, grandma, on some real shit. What a terrible big ass mouth you got. The better to eat you with, biatch.
scarcely had the wolf said this shit, one leap, shoot, like the Hulk and shit. Boom. Nigga was out of bed, ate her ass up. Pow. Now, he done ate the grandma up and Little Red Riding Hood. So you know that nigga had the Idris, right? So he was like, oh shit, damn, I'm full of shit. I need to lay my ass down. So he laid down, fell asleep, and started snoring and shit, real loud. Now the huntsman was looking for his fool. So he just happened to be passing by the crib. And he said to himself,
"Oh, that old woman is snoring. I must see if she's okay. Make sure she doesn't need anything."
So he went in the room and shit. When he came to the bed, he saw the wolf was in it.
"Oh, I see it's you with your bitch ass. I've been looking for you, old sinner," he said. "I've been trying to catch you for long, but I got your ass now, nigga."
Then just as he was going to shoot, he had pulled out his shit, pulled out the heat, you know. Pull that shit out, cocked it back. But he's like, oh shit.
If I shoot her, the grandmother might die because she might be still alive. Maybe I can save her.
So he didn't shoot, he put his shit back. But he pulled out a pair of scissors, and I don't even know where this nigga got scissors from. But anyway, but then again, he's a hunter, so they do carry that shit around. So he started cutting the wolf's stomach open. Now, I don't know why he can't be that full and he ain't feel nigga cutting his stomach open. But he ain't wake up. So when he made 2 snips, he saw red shining. Then he made 2 more snips. Red jumped out like boom, crying and shit. Oh, how frightened I was in there. It was dark as hell, man. So she got out. After that, the grandmother came out and shit. But she couldn't hardly breathe, she was already sick, Red Riding Hood got some rocks and shit. And then she ran over to the wolf and put them all in his stomach. So when he woke up, he tried to run away. But them stones were so heavy, he collapsed and fell. Nigga died right there. They killed his ass, man. Anyway, then all 3 were happy as hell. The huntsman, he pulled out his little knife and shit. Like, yo, check this shit out. He started carving him. He took the wolf's skin, took it to the crib with him. Grandmother hit the blunt, drank the 40. Red was chilling, but Red thought to herself, like, man, as long as I live, I'm never walking down that path by myself. I ain't running through the woods and none of that. I'm gonna do what my mother told me not to do. She should have done it in the first damn place. She lucky the damn huntsman was there in the building. It's also related that once Little Red Riding Hood did that shit again, like take the blunts in the 40s and shit, and sometimes some dinners to grandma, another wolf was out there. This nigga was right there, chilling, just like the other one. He tried to entice her from the path like OG did. Now, Little Red Riding Hood, she was on her shit this time. She just paid him no mind. She like, forget that nigga. She told her grandmother what happened. That she met the wolf, and the wolf was like, good morning. But he had this real wicked look in his eyes. But she thought to herself like, damn, had I been on that public road, he'd have definitely rolled up on me and got me and ate me up and shit. So he said to she like, Grandma, what we gonna do? So Grandma was like, well, we'll just shut the door. Maybe he can't come in. So soon after that, the wolf knocked. For real. He was crying like, open the door, Grandma. I'm Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm bringing you some more blunts, and I got a couple of 40s this time. But Red and Grandma, they was like, nah, don't say shit. They ain't say nothing, they ain't open the door, nothing. So the wolf and shit, this nigga was running around the house like trying to figure out how I'm gonna get in this bitch. So he's like, oh shit. So he jumped up on the roof. His plan was to sit there and wait for Red. If Red was in the crib, he's gonna catch her ass coming out. If she hadn't got there, she's gonna catch her ass coming in. That was the plan. But all plans don't work and shit. So grandma was like, I got something for him. Because grandmothers back in them days, they figured they had that real woman's intuition that a lot of women today swear they got, but they ain't really have. But she had that shit. So in front of the house was a great stone trough and shit. So she said to Red, take the pill, Little Red Riding Hood. I made some sausages yesterday, so carry the water in which I boiled them to the trough. Little Red Riding Hood carried that shit to the great trough until it was full. The smell of them Jimmy Dean sausages reached the wolf. That nigga was sniffing. He was like, he peeped down. He was like, oh shit, they got sausages down there in the water. So he kept sniffing and sniffing, but he had to make sure they weren't looking at his ass. So he kept reaching out his nose like, damn, that shit smell good. But yo, he reached out too far and he slipped. Nigga fell right straight through the roof into the great trough. That shit burnt his ass up. Nigga was done. After that, Little Red Riding Hood was like, this ain't shit. After that, she was walking back and forth because she didn't care. But see, what I want to know is this. Is this the same wolf and his homie? I mean, is one of them the same one that tried to get on the three pigs and shit? I don't know, but we're going to find out when we tell that story. Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for listening to the reading by myself, Idris, Little Red Riding Hood. Stay tuned for the three pigs. We're going to be doing all the nursery rhyme shits. Is it nursery rhymes? The fairy tale, the whatever. We're going to do all that shit, all right? I'm out. Peace.